Hey, this is Matt once again. Welcome back to another video. And there's a paid request for Sean. Thank you so much for that. And for those interested in requesting any type of videos, topics, reactions, commentaries, reviews, re-reviews, random topics, whatever the case may be, video game playthrough, full playthrough, or one for an hour, re-reviews, whatever the case, feel free to send it. PayPal's usually the best bet. I do have a Patreon, and I do have a CashApp, because people have asked about those. Feel free, and I'll get to them as soon as I can. And thank you. Those links are down below in the info box if you wish to. So Sean wanted me to look into St. Elmo's Fire, which is funny because when he sent the request, he sent the message of, well, I'm not really a fan of this movie, but... And this is a film I of course had heard of throughout the years, but never saw. Never saw the film. I know the song, and I love the song by John Parr, Man in Motion. I really do. That's probably one of my favorite 80s songs. I could listen to that and get hyped up all the time and any time. I remember that was a song Lisa Simpson was enjoying when she was allowed to listen to music. That was actually in this film I saw recently called Maxine, which I actually didn't mind the film. And when that song popped up, it was actually one of my favorite moments in the movie. Man in Motion, St. Elmo's Fire. And to be honest, I think the song's a lot better than the movie. And a lot more memorable than the movie. If I learn how to talk without marbles in my mouth. But St. Elmo's Fire came out, I think, the same year as The Breakfast Club, because they were both 1985. And you had a good cast. I mean, Emilio Estevez, Demi Moore, Judd Nelson, Andrew McCarthy, Sheedy, Andie MacDowell, Mare Winningham. And even though they came out the same year, I think this was made after Breakfast Club, because I remember there's an interview with Judd Nelson going, you know, I'm sure people wanted me to play another crook, another scumbag type of guy. I'm like, well, you did, just at least your character in Breakfast Club was much more honest, much more cooler, and honestly, I felt was more likable than your character in this, Judd. Sorry. But it's directed by Joe Schumacher, and I miss the guy. I mean, I'm a fan of him as a director. DC Cab, I love. Falling Down is great. A Time to Kill, Phone Booth, The Lost Boys. He's done a lot of good stuff. 8mm. Yeah, he did Batman and Robin and stuff, but I mean, it's not like his whole career was stuff like Batman and Robin. There's a lot of good stuff in there. 8mm is a very solid film. Phone Booth is a great, tense, fast-paced movie with Colin Farrell's best performance, in my opinion. I even liked Tideland. No, Tigerland. Is it Tigerland? I think it was Tigerland, the war film that Colin Farrell was in. Thailand's another movie I'm thinking of. But Tigerland, Joe Schumacher did a lot of good work. And this, I mean, he helped write the film, he directed the film, so a lot of it is his responsibility. I think he had the right cast. It's just the story. If they're trying to make this a satire, if they were trying to make this like a black comedy, it seems like we're supposed to like these characters in a way, at least by the end. So I don't know if it's just the tone deafness of it all, or maybe Joe Schumacher at this point wasn't ready for this kind of project, or something else. I don't know what it is, but something got lost in translation from the script to the screen. Because the plot of the film is, a lot of the people I mentioned, you have about 7 friends who went to school together, and at times they'll hang out at this restaurant, this bar called St. Elmo's Fire. Emilio Estevez, he's a waiter there, and he has this unhealthy obsession with Andie MacDowell, who of course she would be in Groundhog Day, among others, to the point of so many scenes with Emilio in this movie, you could put the Cape Fear music in, and it would fit. I'm not kidding. And I'm realizing I think the microphone was a bit too close to the dam, so I don't want to be blaring your eardrum. Sorry about that. But yeah, there's scenes where he's looking in the rain at her like this, and the shots like this is like, and it was like playing happy music, but you'd be like, dun, 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 dun. I'm like, what the fuck? Like, he's a stalker. He steals her hospital schedule. He yells about, I'd had this party for her. She goes to see her friend, and her friend said she went to a ski lodge. Like, the ski, who are you? Why should I tell you anything? And he literally tells his lady, I won't be responsible for what I do to you if you don't. He literally tells his lady who's done nothing wrong, and she's supposed to tell this total stranger where her friend's at, and he literally says, then I'm not responsible. I won't be responsible for what I do to you if you don't. He's like Mark Wahlberg in Fear, but you're supposed to dislike Mark Wahlberg in Fear, and Fear, I like that movie. I think that's actually a pretty decent film. This, he's a psycho stalker. There's a bit where he goes in after the rain bit, sniffs her damn pillow. I'm surprised he didn't sniff her panties and steal them. And I'm just going to go through each of these characters and their arcs, just so it's just an easier way because so many characters to deal with. So it's him stalking her, watching her. What do I have a party? Where is she? I made this party for her. Threatening her friend. Goes to where she's at, where she has a boyfriend. And the boyfriend is more calm than me. I'd be like, hey, Billy. And then on top of it, he goes and kisses Andie MacDowell, is happy. The boyfriend doesn't see it because he comes out with a camera. Emilio has a picture, has an arm around her as they take the picture. And then when he rides off, he tackles like he's Billy Kid. I'm like, I know I'm not the only one that thinks he's psycho, because I remember my friend Mike OCP reviewed this years ago. It's been a while since I've seen that review, but I think he said almost the same thing. That Vado remember that. And I'm like, yeah, he's right. He is psychotic. Emilio, like, you want to trash Maximum Overdrive? That's a way better movie than this, and you played a more likable, better character in that movie than this. You're killing semi-trucks with bazookas, and you're saving the day, and your relationship with Laura Harrington is a lot more healthier than your obsession with Andie MacDowell. Any second now, you don't try to kill her. I can imagine Emilio being like Mark Wahlberg, like in the, open up, So, and Emilio, he doesn't learn anything. Because to him, he did nothing wrong. So, great, he's going to continue to do that. Be a stalker. Or I guess kissing her made him finally succeed, and then what? He'll find another girl to stalk? Judd Nelson and Ali Sheedy, they're a couple. He keeps pushing, let's get married, let's get married. She's on the fence about it, understandably so. Until one day, he just goes, hey, I'm going to throw an engagement party without her knowing. And she's like, oh, well, I can't do that. And then he gets mad. And then she's like, well, I got a better reason. What about your extracurricular sexual activities? Just Judd Nelson cheats on her. Judd Nelson cheats on his fiancée. Earlier, he even tells Andrew McCarthy about this, what was it, the blonde sales girl. They had sex in a three-way mirror. Which then Andrew McCarthy makes the joke, so there were 6 of you. Which I kind of chuckled at that, to be honest. So this is a guy who keeps cheating on his fiancée why should I like this guy? And then when she confronts him on it, he tells her, get out of my apartment. Ben later wants to go, I need to get her back. You're the one cheating on her, and then you threw her out of your apartment. You don't deserve shit. Let's see, who else we got? Demi Moore, which I'm a big fan of Demi Moore. Her character, it's at least it's meant to be more of a, she's up the creek without a paddle. She's spending too much money that she doesn't have. She's in complete heavy debt. She always trying to hook up with rich people, and it never works out. Trying this get rich quick scheme until finally she's kind of had it, and she's the finale is her locked in her room while her friends try to get in this attempt to, I guess, end her life. And she's into drugs. I don't even really get a hint of what's going to happen to her next, other than she says, I gotta go find a job. Does that mean she'll kick the drug habit? I like to hope so. I think Demi Moore does a good job. But I don't know, man. Ali Sheedy, like I said, she's with Judd Nelson. She leaves. Andrew McCarthy says, okay, you just stay here for a bit. Andrew McCarthy admits that I'm in love with you. She has sex with him. Then later on goes, well, that wasn't love. You were in one state of affair. I was in, like, state of mind. I was in a state of mind. So it kind of made me, I don't know, like, okay, Ali Sheedy, you gave the guy a little bit of the popsicle. Now you're mad that he licked it. It's like, come on, man. Come on, Ali. But she does do a good job in her performance. Andrew McCarthy, I just kind of have a cynicism on love, and he's like a writer. I would say he's the character I probably liked the most, because I don't know, like I said, I can understand his cynicism, because I've been cynical many times too. Although, even at the very beginning, one of the first things is Lowe and Mare Winningham got in a car accident, and she's okay, but she pays for it even though it's his fault. And then Lowe's like, how's everything going? You know, he doesn't care at first, but then he's like, oh, well, what's going on? What, is she okay? After they tell her, are you not even going to see if she's okay? And they're like, oh yeah, she's not doing the best. She might have exceeded limit on her visa. So they're laughing about the fact, like Judd Nelson and Emilio and Andrew McCarthy, they're laughing at, yeah, you got this girl in a car accident and she's having to pay for it and exceed her visa. Isn't that hilarious? Fuck all of you. Just douchebags. At least in Breakfast Club, like, you could tell they all have their issues, but then as the movie goes on, they bond, and then they have that big, I mean, it's a lengthy, simple but lengthy finale where they talk, and it's kind of like group therapy, and you get a example reasoning of who they are as people and why they came to that sad fruition of their life, and maybe things could possibly change, maybe, hopefully. And that's what I think John Hughes was able to handle that a lot better than this. So John Hughes seems to be a guy who kind of could work that character development a bit better than this stuff. Maybe that's the thing, because Joe Schumacher was an older guy, and well, I would assume he was an older guy compared to the others, so I don't know if he really knew what the kids were into. He made The Lost Boys, but I don't remember if he wrote it or not. I don't remember. If he did, then he did a better job in The Lost Boys. If he didn't, then maybe other writers was what was needed in the first place. And Rob Lowe is like the worst guy in the movie, where he has a wife and he has a kid, a baby, but he's never home. He's out playing saxophone. He's trying to hook up with Mare Winningham. He's trying to hook up with Demi Moore. There's even a point where he takes her teas and puts in his pants, and she's got to fight him to get the teas out. And he does this in front of his home, where 30 seconds later, his wife comes out with a baby. He's always trying to pick up other chicks and get some fucking going on. And yet he'll be in the club, and his wife is with another guy, and he's like, "What are you doing, my wife? What are you doing, my wife?" I'm like, "You're the guy cheating on her all the time and not giving a crap about anything." And then at the end of the film, there's this attempt. Well, I guess Demi Moore wanted to freeze herself. I don't know what she was trying to do. Like, she's trying to end her life. Rob Lowe talks to her, gives her the weirdest advice, which I don't understand what the hell he was trying to get at. Where he's like, "This isn't real. None of this is real. Like St. Elmo's fire," and he explains what that is, and it's our time on the edge. I mean, what is he trying to say? If he's trying to say, hey, you know what? Material stuff isn't what makes you you. What makes you you is who you are deep down, perhaps your family or friends. But I mean, it's what you are as a person. That's what makes you who you are. Material things are material things. You can live without material things. It's not the end of the world if you lose your sofa or you lose your TV. You can always work and get that back again if you really want them. As though you got your health, you got your sanity, you got your... On top of that, family and friends, which he does have friends, then it could all work out. But he doesn't word it that way. He definitely could have worded it a lot better, so I don't know what the hell he's trying to say in this. I really don't. But apparently that works. And then Rob Lowe, he gets on a bus to New York and pretty much leaves his wife and kid. So you abandon your kid, you leave your wife, because you're too much of a pissant. If she threw him out, good, he didn't deserve it, I guess, to be fair, but, you know, like... Then we should have had the scene where she threw him out. But it didn't seem like that. It seemed like more of he wanted to leave and... I don't know, man. I'm like, what the hell is up with these characters, man? I don't think the acting is bad. I like the music, especially Man on Fire. Man on Fire. Man in Motion. That appears a few times in the film. Oh, and then before he leaves, Rob Lowe has sex with Mare Winningham, who's a virgin. But it's supposed to act like, well, at least he did something for her. At least he took her virginity. Yeah, he's going to immediately leave her on a bus. As a guy who's going to leave his wife and kids, or at least abandon his kid and not be near his kid to see him on weekends or other stuff. No, he's going to go all the way to New York and probably not see him for another 10 years. And then all the friends are kind of watching the bus going, oh, I'm going to miss him. Why? So did he cheat on his wife some more and abandon his kid more so? Fuck that. These characters are so horrible characters, man. And even like Judd Nelson, like before the ending, there's a bit where Judd Nelson tries to push Andrew McCarthy off a fire escape and tries to murder him. Because he finds out McCarthy had sex with Ali Sheedy, so Judd Nelson doesn't like that. But then at the end, they're just fine. Sheedy comes out, and either one's on the other side, and I just want to be by myself, and I hope we can all be friends. And then Andrew and Judd kind of looked at each other and go, I guess so. I'm like, yeah, I mean, you tried to kill me on a fire escape. Tried to murder my ass, but yeah, it's all good, man. You're fantastic. Jesus Christ. Man. Trash, garbage characters, but good cast. That's what sucks. Is that it's a good cast, but man. These are a bit where Sheedy, Mare Winningham, and Demi Moore eating at a soup kitchen. So they steal the homeless people's food so they sit down and eat their food. That food's not meant for you. It's meant for the homeless people. But, thank God you got a free meal. That wasn't meant for you. Okay. Because that's the way it is, I guess. But yeah, with that said, thanks for watching. Take care, and we'll see you guys later. Bye-bye for now.